playoffs, the win here. What does that mean to you guys as a team? What was, Phil's message coming out of it?
It means a lot. It was a goal that we've had for a little while. I remember down in Orlando, we knew it was getting close at the end. Knew we were kind of on that fence, and we just wanted to. We knew we had a chance if we just finished the year strong, and so it's great to clinch it.
What has this process been like for you, acclimating to a new team, going through a trade from one organization to another in your first year? Like, how do you look back on the regular season? All those things you went through.
It was a great experience. It's I'm learning as I go, and it just so happened to be that way. So it's been a blessing, and any way I look at it. So it's been great so far.
What was your reaction when you heard that you were going to be coming to Boston and Maine, and what was that whole week like when you were making that transition?
It was. I didn't see it coming. It was just like, wow, okay, you just go day by day. And so yeah, it caught me off guard, caught me by surprise, but and then I think it's a blessing.
Is that sort of your welcome to the business moment?
Yeah, for sure. Especially as a rookie, it's so for sure it's seeing the business side of things, but yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. You guys had to play as if it was a playoff game. What was your mindset from the tip-off?
Give it all we got, be aggressive, and we kind of knew. We just played them, 2 days ago. So we watched film, we understood the game plan, and just wanted to come out here and get it done.
But it wasn't just any game. You really needed to lock in and play it as if it was a playoff game, and if you lose, and you don't want to think about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we did approach it like a playoff game. We knew it was essentially win or go home. So we. The group was focused from the last couple of days, and we all knew what it was going into this game. But we encouraged each other and brought, I'm just proud of the guys for what we brought.
What has been this organization's desire to see you develop into? What areas of the game have they focused on? Your role, and has that been drastically different from what Utah envisioned for you, or has it been pretty similar in terms of what they've seen, wanted you to become as a player?
Yeah, I guess it's. Still trying to find exactly what that looks like, because it's different for everyone, and it's hard to know exactly what that is. But I think just bringing an impact offensively, defensively, simplifying things, being able to space the floor for primary ball handlers, and be a plus defender. So that's pretty standard across what both teams would want.
Has anything stood out to you about the way this organization develops players so far? Obviously, you've gotten to see 2 teams in your first year here, and been a lot of success stories of guys going from the G League to the NBA here. Has anything stood out about how they go about developing players and tailoring different parts of your game?
Absolutely. I mean, they care. They from day one we established a plan, and we stuck with it ever since then. Every day I'm getting better. Getting feedback. The coaches are watching film, and I'm just in a great environment just to get better. It's one of the best. I think I've heard it's one of the best places, and I can agree with that. So it's been great so far.
So what does it mean to hear the word professional, being a professional basketball player?
I'm still learning that and defining it, but professional basketball player is just. Everything aside, just stay the course. I think that's the main thing.
I mean, you had to have had this dream at some point to be able to get paid to play basketball. Can you talk a little bit about when you had that vision of maybe being at this particular point in your career?
Yeah, that was definitely a dream as a kid, and it's surreal. And sometimes I have to remind myself that I'm waking up, and I'm getting paid to play basketball. It's just something you can't take for granted. It's a blessing. So trying to make the most of it, but. It's it comes with things that you didn't know, good and I don't want to say bad, but because it all makes you better. But yeah, it's been fun so far.
You guys got to practice at Auerbach Center, in February, and obviously that was part of Jason Tatum's recovery. Has it been being around him a little bit and being part of that, and just helping him get back on the court since he went through the injury and was trying to rehab and make that final push back?
Well, it's been cool. It's been cool to see, the behind the scenes and, who he is as a player and a person. So he works super hard. he has so much love for the city and has sacrificed a lot and has done everything he can to get back. And it was cool to see him in the tail end of his recovery process and being able to help him a little bit in that. Some of those scrimmages was great.
What was that like, in those spots, and like, do you have any memories from like those scrimmages?
Yeah, Jason Tatum's pretty good at basketball. I think that was the main takeaway. But it is kind of weird going from, just growing up as a basketball fan and being around and watching NBA, and then to one day be having Jason Tatum drilling the ball up towards you and you're guarding him. It's kind of a cool feeling. So.
How well did you know any of the guys on the NBA team here? And obviously you've been able to be around them a lot to this point. Like, you seeked out advice from many of those guys, and they've been talking to you a lot of the time that you've been around there. Or you just kind of try to focus on yourself, when you've been in those environments.
I asked a lot of questions, and there's some guys that I do know. I played against Neemias Queta, I played against Shoga, and I was AAU teammates with Baylor. So I would say those are my connections. But I've definitely asked a lot of questions to some of the veterans and learned everything I can around them, as well as taking care of my day-to-day work.
Any feedback that has really stood out to you from them, or just kind of stuck with you?
I think I've just picked up on some of the things that they do, and just the way that they operate. Everyone has their own. I think that's pretty standard. Everyone has their own way. There's not one way to be a professional basketball player, and there's not one way to approach things. So I think it's cool to see a mix of all the different guys and how they approach it.
What was it like to sign a 10-day for the shirt you did? Did that kind of surprise you that was going to happen? And what was that day like when you heard that you were going to get that opportunity?
Once again, it was just another well, here we go moment. It was cool. It was cool to experience and be around those guys. So yeah.
This league is all about now, but also looking forward. What do you feel like you need to work on to be a great player and potentially be in the NBA?
I think continue to be just a capable catch and shoot shooter, someone that can just be efficient. I think simplify the game, play both ends of the ball, and try to get a couple more offensive rebounds, I think, as well. So I think those are some of my calling cards to get there.
And is that part of your development plan that you talked about?
Yep, that's part of it.